Right, I'm going to be introducing the guests for tonight. So our first guest was born in Auckland and represented the Australian schoolboys at under-15s level. He played for New South Wales under-17s and later went on to make his senior debut for the Penrith Panthers in 2008 before joining Melbourne Storm in 2009. He moved to Castleford in 2011 and then joined Widnes Vikings for the 2012 season and soon became a regular, making 85 appearances over 4 years. He signed for Wigan ahead of the 2016 season and that year made 30 appearances, including the grand final win over the Warrington Wolves. Having made 209 appearances for the Warriors, he's won 3 grand finals, a League Leaders Shield and a World Club Challenge. Please give a Riversiders welcome to Heritage number 1064, Willie Isa. Our second guest is a product of the Wigan Academy, having played for the club's under-18s and under-20s teams. He made his debut in 2010 and went on to complete a dream first season, playing in 23 games, including the grand final win over St Helens. Since then, he's been named a part of the Super League Dream Team 6 times. In December 2022, he was announced as the new club captain and has since went on to captain the side to win even more silverware. In total, he's won 5 grand finals, 4 League Leaders Shields, 4 Challenge Cups, 2 World Club Challenges and the Harry Sunderland Trophy. Put your hands together and welcome out Liam Farrell, Heritage number 1017.
Welcome, guys. Thank you very much for coming. Josie's got you a couple of cupcakes just on the chair at this side. I think they're in training, Josie. But you can take them home if you want. Right, so we're going to start off. We're just going to look back. Is that sound okay? It's not too loud or anything? Is it okay? Right, we're just going to start off and we're going to look back. So we're going to take you back 12 months. This time last year, we were 6th in the table on 18 points and we'd lost 6 games. Fast forward to now, and we're currently top of the league on 24 points and we've only lost 2 games. As players, are you aware of things like that? And I do apologise, we've only got one mic, so we're going to have to wing it between us.
Firstly, thank you for having us here. Really appreciate you inviting me and Willie in. And on your point you made there, I had no idea that was the position I was in last year, this time of the year. It seems like a long time ago and I can't really remember back then, but yeah, to think we went on and win the grand final at that point of the year, yeah, we got ourselves in a position, I think, after the Challenge Cup semi-defeat and went on to win 10-11 games, and we just found our rhythm about ourselves and what worked best for us. And to think where we are now, yeah, we're very aware where we are. Obviously, we had a bit of silverware already this year, but a little bit. And yeah, we've just reassessed where we're at. We've come back in after a week off, and we understand we're being hunted now. We're seen as, well, we've got all 4 trophies basically, and everyone wants to hunt us down. And we're in a fortunate position where we can stay at the top of the table, and we've got the squad who can do it. But it wasn't too long ago, a couple of years ago, where we was the team who was chasing Saints down, who was winning everything at that time, and there was a lot of hunger in the squad to win things, and that still sits inside me, definitely. I went through a period of 3 or 4 years where things were quite difficult, where we weren't winning things, so that sits with me, and going forward, we just want to win more silverware, but at the same time, we're just going to take things week by week, and we're keeping a happy squad, and that's the biggest thing for us at the moment. If we're all happy, I think it takes us forward into playing well.
We've won a bit of silverware. I didn't quite recognise you when you first came in, Liam, because I'm used to seeing you with your arms up in the air and a trophy between your hands. Right, so we'll give this one to you, Willie. So from exiting the Challenge Cup last year, we seemed to shift up a couple of gears, and then boom. League Leaders Shield, Grand Final, World Club Challenge, Challenge Cup, all in the trophy cabinet or on the table next to you. Were you confident that that level of success was coming, or was that Challenge Cup exit a catalyst for it?
Yeah, I think we had a big reassessment of that semi-final at Leeds against OKR. So, yeah, it was quite disappointing personally, I think. But, yeah, I remember we sat down and it wasn't a big, deep thing. I think we needed to go back to who we were and what we wanted to do next going forward, really. And League Leaders was next, and obviously the Grand Final. But it probably narrowed our mindset as a team at that point. And I think confidence-wise, we were always confident in our work, and that's been, not to sound arrogant, but that's just, we believe in our work, you know, and we believe in the coaches, and we believe in the lads in the team. Yeah, and we just reap the rewards, really. So, yeah, I'm one of them guys who go week by week. Very boring, but that's the way it goes, you know. So, yeah, we're benefiting from, yeah, the bit of trophy next to us.
So the League Leaders Shield doesn't seem to carry as much prestige as the Grand Final or the Challenge Cup, unless you're Huddersfield, and that's the only one you've won. So what's your view on that? After slogging it out for 27 rounds, do you think it should get a little bit more recognition? And that's to both of you.
I think amongst the players, it gets plenty of recognition. We realise what we need to do in the league to get to where we want to get to in the Grand Final. But for us last year, we wanted to win the league. I remember getting to the last 6 or 7 games, and all we could focus on was the league and making sure we finished top, because we knew it would give us the easiest route to the Grand Final. And in terms of recognition, amongst general people, I don't think it gets as much as it should do. I think the slog you go throughout the year, and all the tough away games and them small margin wins, what you get, like the one we had at Castleford a few weeks ago, you know, we could have easily slipped up on that one, and you'd look back and think that was one what just got away. But this year we could look back at it and think, you know, it's one that we really dug deep in, and I don't think a lot of people expected us to win it, but we came away with the 2 points. And it's them kind of games what you look back on and think, if you get the opportunity to win League Leaders, they're the real big ones, not just your Saints on Good Friday or your Warrington games. It's them small margin wins against tough teams away what, you know, really get the League Leaders, and it gets a lot of recognition amongst the lads.
Yeah, first answer looked pretty good, yeah. Yeah, no, I remember, it's funny because I think 2016 I first come to the club, and Sean Wayne obviously was the coach at that time. And I think the club lost against Witness the year before or something like that. And those are the kind of games, as Faz said about Cass a few weeks ago, those are the games you need to win, you know, for when you look back and you win the League Leaders. Those are the kind of games that you slipped up, or we slipped up a few years ago. And, you know, for me now going forward, you know, through experience at this club, it's, yeah, making sure them games that could easily, you know, we can just turn up and do whatever we want, but it's the mentality that you have to win, you know, and those are the wins that get you the League Leaders, I think. So it's not just the big games, but the other games that, you know, really mean a lot, really. So yeah, great work, Faz. You answered pretty much.
So that was your first silverware lifted as captain. What was that like?
Obviously, yeah, a really special moment for myself to be able to captain these lads, these 30 odd blokes in last year was an unbelievable feeling, and even though I get to wear the captain's armband or whatnot, there's still a lot of senior players around me who give me a lot of support and a lot of help and a lot of advice. I'm honest with you, and Willie's a big one on that, Mike Cooper. These kind of lads, they're all really big and influential in the squad, and it's a whole team journey throughout the year to win the league leaders, and I was just a lad who got the opportunity to lift the trophy, and yeah, for me personally, to lift any silverware for this club is a very special moment, and there's been some even bigger ones since, what I'm really proud of.
We'll get to them. So, moving on a bit, grand final. What are your memories from that special evening, both of you?
Geez, I don't remember much really. I don't even drink either, so it's, no, I think it was just the final whistle. I think, yeah, I remember personally, I looked at everyone and they were jumping up, and obviously, and then I swear down, about 5 seconds later, I was trying to flip that ball to him. So that Tyrone May had the ball, and I ran straight to him, shook his hand, all the best, man, mate, give you a silver ball. So, then once I held the ball, then I looked at everyone else, and yeah, everyone was kind of happy, really. But yeah, I think, talk about rugby league, I think the defence kind of summed up that game for me, I think. People thought they were all a bit crazy, we were winning and we were playing against 12 men at that time, I think. And, you know, we were 30 metres off our line and we still kicked it on third tackle. And people go, what the hell are you doing, you know? I think at that time we were just confident in our abilities and how fit we were. That's big credit to our staff as well, how fit we were, how fit the lads were. And we just backed our defence. We, kind of just dragged them down to the end there, so that's all I can remember, really. And then I remember Faz lifting up the trophy. That was pretty cool, man. Like, because I kind of sit back and I don't know, you call me weird, but I kind of just like watch everyone else enjoy it. Seeing Kai Pierce-Paul, seeing his winning his first one, it was like, those are the moments I watch, because when it was 2016, there was other guys watching me lift up my first one, you know, so those are the moments I kind of remember, and seeing Faz doing for the first time being captain, that was pretty cool, because I was just there looking, and I was kind of laughing at him because I didn't know if he had the energy too. I was like, geez, sum it up, didn't he? I'm like, oh. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I kind of just like, kind of took it all in, really, in a different way.
I understand what he's saying about that as well. I've got a photo at home of us all, and I've sort of got the trophy up, and I've just got Willie at the side of me. Like, he's just sort of looking at him, and it looks like that's the best thing about it. Is everyone has their own individual memories, and you get to create that for them. And you think about some of the players who left. Obviously, Sam Powell's one of them. Have been here for a long time. For him to win another one, and Kai Pierce-Paul, Morgan Smith is. And then the Aussie lads who had not won one before, it was really special to see them win one. And for me personally, walking into Old Trafford, I'd been a little kid, ball boy at Old Trafford, watching Leeds and Bradford. And, there weren't many times we were Wigan with her at the time. And but yeah, growing up watching grand finals and going to them, and then walking out with my little boy and lifting the trophy, then was a very special feeling for me. And just to bring some silverware back to the club, make all the fans happy, and I think us as players was testament for the year. I think we worked really hard. We put a lot into the year. We had a bit of disappointment with the Challenge Cup, but the back end of the year just came together for us, and I think we got what we deserved in the end.
So I'm just going to quickly touch on Willie with the match ball. Can you tell us about that? What's your obsession with all these match balls?
Well, 2016, I just grabbed the ball, really. I ended up with, I was the last man and the whistle went. So I had the ball anyway, and then I thought, well, I might as well get another one. So, yeah, so I started collecting it. One's in a little box frame thing. The rest of them I just kick around the house. It's pretty bad, really. So, yeah, one of them's in my car and I take it around the coffee shops and just use it as a leg rest. So, yeah, I don't know, there's nothing to it really, I just, collect it.
Do you get stressed if someone else has got the ball?
No, not really, I'll just grab it. I always find a way to grab it. So, I remember the referee, I don't know who the referee was in the grand final, he did come across and said, oh, yeah, can I have the ball back? I was like, yeah, good luck. I just looked at him and I wasn't even smiling or anything. I was like, so I don't know if he was joking or serious. I'm not too sure. Just at that moment, I just thought it wasn't a good way to ask him. We weren't going to get it. So no, it was pretty cool.
So moving forward to the World Cup Challenge, what did it feel like walking out in front of a capacity crowd at the DW Stadium?
Yeah, no, it was cool, man. Honestly, it was like, I don't know, I was focused on the game, obviously, but after the game, I think I kind of took it for granted in the game, I think, because you're so focused and determined to make sure everything goes right. I had to do my job, you know. After the game, I watched it a little bit. I don't really watch games back, but I watched it a little bit. But I watched certainly the walkout. It was amazing, really, because I remember there was fireworks, right? And there's a lot of smoke, and you just go, "What the hell?" Like, you can't really see what's going on. That's me, you know. But I remember at the end of the game, the noise throughout the game, but the end bit when the final whistle went, and the noise and the people. That's when I kind of took it in and thought, "Wow, this is awesome," you know, because it's obviously we won the game, but we're all in it together, right? And everyone's loving every moment, and especially the way the game finished. It was it was crazy, and I have a sense of gratitude really at that time, because everyone turned up, everyone paid money to get in there, and you know the only thing after the game, there was a lot of people outside the stadium who couldn't afford to get in. So that was like when I remember coming out the stadium, and you know there was a few of the lads who actually spent a lot of time, you know, making sure they spent time with the people who didn't get in the stadium, you know. So I'll never forget them people, man, because they never had a chance to go in. But hey, we all won it together, I suppose. So it's good.
Yeah, I remember when we had the one in 2017, and Wayne made a massive build-up of it. The whole pre-season was built on beating Cronulla, and it was intense. But I just felt like with this one, from the beginning of January leading up to the game, it was so intense throughout the town, and all I ever got asked was, "Are you looking forward to the Penrith game? You're going to beat Penrith. I don't care what we do." It's usually, "I don't care what we do, we'll beat Saints," but it's I don't care what we do, I want to beat Penrith. And it just felt like it was so intense. And getting towards the game, I've played in some big atmospheres at the Brick nowadays, not the DW, and I think it's the best I've played in. The best. There was no seat, you couldn't see a Spurs seat in the ground, and the atmosphere was unbelievable. Probably one of the best I've played in. The game itself, we knew what was coming up against. We was the underdogs. Penrith are an outstanding team, and we just came with the mentality of defend like we've our lives on the line. And from 1 to 17, we did it. And a few things went our way, which they do in big games if you're going to win. But overall, I think it'll be one of them games where 20, 30 years' time we'll look back and it'll be one of Wigan's highlight games. you look back some of the other big games like when Wigan played Manly at Central Park and them kind of games, I think it's going to be one of them. And I think as time passes by, it's going to be a real history maker for us.
Obviously, it was a bit of a tight game. Were you always confident that we'd get the win? And how nervous were you in those last few minutes?
We started the game really well. Obviously got on the scoreboard first and got in front, and I felt like after about the 20-minute mark, they started to get a bit of a roll on and got a bit of momentum, and you could tell our middles were gassed, and we were struggling to get any momentum in the game, and we couldn't get off our own line. I thought it was going to be a real tough ask for us. But as the game went on, we got back into it a little bit more, and we just defended for our lives and did really well. And when we got towards the back end of the game and we were still in front, and they always had us on our line, I couldn't think of anything. I was just gassed, absolutely gassed, and I think everyone was exactly the same. But the way the squad is at the moment, we've just got an attitude of just turn up for each other, do your job, and it sounds pretty simple. There's a lot of technical stuff involved in the game, but if you've got 17 blokes who are just going to turn up for each other and do the jobs, you're a tough team to beat, and I think that's the real big thing that stood out for me on the night.
What was the question? What was the question? Oh yeah, of course. No. Honestly, that last 5 minutes or 2 minutes on our line. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of them weird ones we always talk about in-house. Really, I was tired, but I felt comfortable. That's a very weird thing to say, but it was very comfortable in a way that meaning I believed in the guys next to me, defending, and I thought, well, I know people don't want to hear, it's not the most entertaining, but I truly believe in our defence, whether we've got brilliant attacking players, but those attacking players could defend really, really well, so at that time, at that moment, just required a lot of effort. We already had a lot of effort during the game, but a lot of effort, but just commitment and belief really in our team, and that's what I had personally. And I remember the guys next to me, they were the same. And yeah, that last ditch tackle was pretty cool from JA and all that. So credit to them, and that's the side that people forget about JA, and Devon, that they make big moments like that, but not with the ball, but defensively. So that was pretty cool, that moment.
So we're going to jump forward a little bit again to the Challenge Cup. We played Warrington the week before. We rested a few players, including yourself, Faz. Warrington seemed to rest most of their starting 17. Were you surprised by that? And what's your view on resting players before a big game?
It's a tough one. Matty spoke to me beginning of the week on thoughts on resting players and what I thought, and I actually responded and just said, I'm glad you're the coach and not me. It's such a tough situation. My thoughts were, I want to win the game, but at the same time, you don't want to risk anyone getting injured or suspended. And it's a difficult one, and Matty will probably, I don't think he regretted some of his decisions on the day, because we still got the outcome we wanted, but you just got to try and make the right balance at the time, and I think he sort of did that on the day. We just had a couple of things that didn't go our way, and in terms of Warrington, they decided to go the other way. I've been in teams before where we've not played a squad at all the week before a big game, and sometimes it works for you in your favour and sometimes it doesn't, and for them I wouldn't say it worked on the day, because they probably saved their worst performance of the year for that day. And from our point of view, the lads came to the final injury free. A couple of suspensions, but overall the squad was still healthy and was confident about winning.
Just to clarify, this is our team meeting, and Matty goes, who wants to have a rest this weekend? He put his hand straight away. So what did he say to me? Don't listen to him, okay? But anyway, Seriously, he did. He put his hands right. Him and Dupree, but Dupree got told, "Hey, Dupree, you're playing." So look, I've been in both camps really, where I've been in teams that you rest players, and I've been in teams that you play, and you never get what you want in a way. You hope to, but it's not perfect, you know. So I think Matty done the right thing of assessing the situation at that time, and as well, like, he says that we back our squad, you know, and he has belief in the academy and the kids who are coming through, and the guys who got a shot, you know. So without our academy, we want to be Wigan Warriors, if that makes sense, you know. So I think that game was just a standalone game, but we wanted the 2 points, you know. So hard balance, but obviously with Warrington, I think we kind of knew pretty early that they were going to rest players, really, because Sam Burgess obviously said in the media that, yeah, he wasn't going to risk anything. So it didn't really change our mentality. It's just finding that balance. I think, you know, Matty, no matter what people think, that at that time he made a decision and we went with it, and I'm glad that we got 2 points and we got the trophy, so it's a win-win.
I mean, obviously, to their credit, the young Wire lads did give us a bit of a game, didn't they? But we hung on to get the win, 18-19. I wasn't sure if that was the score or that was the year they last won the league. So Jack Smith was the referee for that game. Is it true that he's a friend of yours, Faz?
Yeah, he is. He's a good friend of mine. Our kids go to the same school, they play the same rugby club, and he's a great lad. He is a great lad. I feel so sorry for referees sometimes. It's such a difficult job. I don't think you can ever get the right decision, even if you think you have. You're always going to disappoint someone, and I think it was on the day. I think it was an easy call for Jack. Adam put himself in a position where he couldn't do anything but get sent off. It hit him straight in the head, and it was a tough one.
So, moving on to the final itself, how special was it being back at Wembley Stadium?
Again, yeah, it was. It started from the build-up of the week. Challenge Cup weeks are a little bit different to a grand final in that sense. You sort of celebrate the whole week, even though you've not won the game or anything. And it starts at the beginning of the week. You come in with a squad, and you might have a few past players. A few past players speak to you about winning Challenge Cups or being at Wembley. And obviously, for some of the lads as well, they'd not been there before. Obviously, it was at Tottenham in 2022, and just the whole build-up. And then on Thursday before we left, we had all our families in, and they celebrated with us before we went down, and just the whole week of going down there and visiting Wembley on the day before, and just as a group of 20 odd lads, we got to sit in Wembley Stadium, speak about what it meant to us to try and win the game, and there's some few honest conversations and what they wanted to achieve out of the game, and going into the game itself, we was confident. We'd been in some big games, we had a lot of big game plays and experience, and we knew if we did all our simple things well, we'd come out and have a good crack at winning the game. And I think, I'll be honest with you, I never usually get this feeling. After about 10 minutes of the game, I had a strong feeling we'd win, and even though they was in front at that point, I think they kicked a goal, but the way the game was going and the speed it was going, I think it suited us a lot better than them, and it just ended up to being a great day for us.
This one's for you, Willie. So you were given the honour of presenting the shirts to the lads. What can you tell us about that? And all.
I acknowledge that at that time my role was to present the jerseys, but as well give a certain background of how we got here in the midst of it. So I have an idea of flags. I think Matty bring this culture in, and I think we celebrate where we come from and our backgrounds, and I think at that time, personally, I think the boys needed to know a little bit more behind the backgrounds of players. We've got, obviously Ethan Havard is a Bulgarian-born player, but Wiganese. Then we've got, obviously, Junior, he's got Cameroonian parents, his background, his heritage, and, we've got Patrick Mago, Samoan, we've got Tommy Luloi, and then there's a Kiwi. And then, we've got Liam Marshall, who spoke about what's it mean to him to be an Englishman, but what does it mean to him to be a proud man from Wigan, So, so a few of the boys talked, and, it wasn't about me, it was about how, some reason, all these guys from different backgrounds have come together and play under the Wigan flag. So that's the flag I kind of come up with. Had the players, if you see the Warrior, had the players pictures in that of their first time touching a rugby league. So I had them at the heart. I called it the heart because these players right now, next year's different, but these players right then and then controlled the heartbeat, basically, of all of us. People like me as well, because when we watch the game, we have no control, right? And they needed to know that they control everyone's hearts, They can be nervous, but they can be, not nervous, but they control the whole game through their hearts. So I just wanted to let them know that, people Wigan relied on them, but also their families, But at the same time, I was confident in them to control the heartbeat of every moment of the game, and hopefully we get the result and all that. So, no, it was just a little background of the lads, where they come from, and for some reason we're all here together playing for Wigan Warriors, which is pretty cool.
I think that's pretty amazing. Right, so just a quick one word from each of you. Tottenham or Wembley?
Wembley.
There's only one at Tottenham, so they've won today, so I'll take the Tottenham, I think.
So, Adam Kieran and Tyler Dupree were banned for the final, which was obviously very gutting for both of them. Matt Peake actually said that if Adam Kieran got banned, someone will come in and score the winning try. Step forward, Zach Eckersley. How pleasing was it to see him going over that try line?
Yeah, very, very pleasing. Firstly, when we knew AK was getting banned, it was straight away we knew Zach was going to be in. The confidence amongst the lads that he'd be able to fill that spot was second to none. We've seen all the things he does in training. He's an unbelievable athlete, so him to fill them shoes was no problem at all. And when he got over the line, I think he'd knocked on just before he'd scored the try. So to give him that confidence back into the game, he settled into the game really well. And what a highlight for a 19, 20-year-old to score in a Wembley Cup final in what your fifth, sixth game is an unbelievable feeling. So yeah, it's definitely a memory for him.
Right, we're going to give this one to you, Willie. What can you tell us about the celebrations?
Jeez. The bus was after the game. The boys obviously had a few drinks. It was actually a bit, I know this sounds surprising, but it was a bit calmer than it was Tottenham. obviously I don't drink, so I kind of assess everything, what's going on. Yeah, it was a bit calm, but I think the main thing was, serious note, that after the game the boys wanted to obviously go on the bus, but because all our families were waiting at the hotel, so I don't know if the boys have grown up a little bit, 2 years on, but they've all just wanted to get back to their families, because they haven't really seen them properly. But obviously that took only 5 minutes, and then everyone heard the DJ and everyone kind of went partying, and we had a few guys on the dance floor, which was interesting. Yeah, I was thinking, where's that energy come from? So, yeah, we had a few guys on the dance floor, and then, that carried on till early in the morning, and then, obviously, I kind of went to sleep pretty early, to be honest with you, because, my foot was killing me, so, I woke up in the morning, I had a early coffee run, I was at the cafe, but, whoa. Some states of them guys. When I seen them all on the bus, that kind of carried on pretty hardcore, really. Surprisingly, Paddy Mago, he was fresh as Daisy. It was he kind of chilled out, and then Bevan on the other hand, and I skip kind of just rubbing their eyes like this and going, oh, Jesus Christ. But, we made our way to a pub, St Albans. Yeah, we went to St Albans, went to the pub. Oh, wow, that was awesome, that, because, the people put on sausage sandwiches, burgers and all that kind of stuff, but obviously, Bubble, what's his actual name? Chris Barron, our S&C guy, he made this song, obviously. It kind of started quiet, and then obviously there's locals in there, because just out of respect, but then it got rowdy a bit, and the locals started jumping in, and then we all singing LA. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So, that went carry on, and in the bus, at the pub, it was great times, everyone's having a laugh, nothing too crazy, everyone had a burger as well, which was just cool, and then, we knew that we were going to come here and meet everyone here at the River Park, which was another bus ride that, a few songs, music never stopped, so, it was pretty cool. Those are the moments that you kind of don't forget, really, because I know everyone enjoys the game, but as players, that you never forget the moments you have after you accomplish something. Those are the memories you kind of take away, once you're done. Like Tommy Lilway, Sean O'Loughlin, Benny Flower, even, they always talk about moments like that. So something I always take with me, which is pretty cool.
Have you got anything to add to that, Liam? Any stories you want to share? What goes on the bus stays on the bus. Right, so we're going to concentrate on you for a bit, Liam. So, obviously, we all know you as players, but we want to know a little bit more about you. So, how old were you when you started playing rugby league?
I was 7. Vague memories of it, really. 7 years old, my dad took me down to Wigan St Pat's. The younger ages used to train on, I know it as the Imp, just over the bridge, just over the canal in Ince, and I wasn't the greatest to play. I was, a chubby little ginger kid, and I came from a rugby family, rugby background, and my dad, my uncle played at a decent level, and I just sort of got into it myself from that way.
So you went to school at St John Fisher, which is well known for producing lots of rugby players. Who else was among your peers at that time?
I'd obviously gone to Sacred Heart School next door to John Fisher as a primary school kid, and then joining John Fisher. Obviously, Sam Tompkins was a year older than me. My school year wasn't very well behaved, so school year wasn't allowed to actually play rugby, so I was fortunate enough to play for the year above, and obviously got to know Sam well through that way. And he actually has a famous story. He tells it a few times. He reckons I broke his arm. We used to play rugby on the grass at school, and I tackled him once, and he fell on the floor, and he got up, and his hand was facing the wrong direction. So he claims that I broke his arm. I will take it really, to be honest, because he bugs me sometimes. So Sam went there. Obviously, Joel, his brother, went there as well. Chris Ashton, Sean O'Loughlin. It's a very famous school for rugby players. You're brought up to want to play rugby. There's rugby league teams in every year group, apart from mine. But there's just a heritage there, and all the PE teachers they want you to play rugby league, and you start your years and you go and play in Whitehaven, Workington, all the Cumbrian places, and I enjoy my time at John Fisher, and sadly it's been knocked down and rebuilt at the moment, but there's a lot of history there, a lot of memories, and a lot of fond memories from my time there, especially playing rugby as well, because I was fortunate enough to play in some games where we got to go down to Wembley and be the curtain raiser to the games, like we played in a few weeks ago, and some of them memories, will live with me for a long time.
So you grew up in Beach Hill, which is obviously not far from the Brick Community Stadium, as it's now called, and you came through the Wigan Academy system. Can you talk us through your journey from academy to the first team?
Lived in Beach Hill. Obviously, me, my sister, my older sister, and my brother who's younger than me. Me and my brother both played rugby. I said this a few times before. My brother was actually a lot better rugby player than I was growing up, probably going through to the academy as well. I think some of you might know him as well, and he was very unfortunate with injuries, and his knees didn't do very well for him, and they didn't last very long, so he gave up rugby a few years ago. But for me, the journey started when I was about 12, 13. I got signed up by Dean Bellett was at the time. He was the head of the scholarship, and came down for the scholarship once a week, and then obviously got. To be honest with you, I didn't really think much of it as a career until I got probably to 14, 15. I started to become okay at rugby, and people started thinking, that I could make something of it, and obviously joined the academy when I was 15, and Wayne was the coach, and I've never been so intimidated by a bloke in my life. I think a lot of you know, I was a quiet lad growing up, and I was quite shy, and someone away in his stature at the time, and he'd just give you this mean look on his face, and he might be trying to say something nice to you, but he just has this mean look about him, and he had my devoted respect straight away, and I'd have done anything he asked at the time, and his standards were simple: work as hard as you possibly can and run as hard as you can, and I sort of bought into them, and I had a really good time under Wayne in the academy, and progressed through there pretty quickly. I played in the reserves and the under-20s, and got to 2009 and had a couple of injuries. And then Michael Maguire came in the pre-season of 2010, and at the time I actually had a broken hand and a broken foot. And Wayne was trying to push me to play first team, so it wasn't looking really good at that point in the time. Michael Maguire came in, and obviously he was into players who worked hard and trained hard, and I sort of tried to make that my foundation really, and as the pre-season went on, things started to work out for me, and it was in the March or April made my debut against Wakefield, and it's something I probably remember more than a lot of other things I remember in my career as well.
So the academy system was much different back then, wasn't it? Obviously it wasn't as professional as it is now. Didn't some of the players have secondary jobs as well at that time?
Yeah, so you'd obviously, a lot of the academy lads now, they'll come in with us in the afternoon, they'll train on the field, and then they'll train at night time as well, so there's a lot more to do for them now. Back then it was, you'd come in at 4 or 5 o'clock, you'd do your weights, and you'd be out on the field doing skills, and I actually started, when I left school, I started college, but when I realised you didn't have to go to lessons, I didn't really turn off my lessons, so I didn't really go to them. And at the time, we have a really close family friend, which is George Williams, his dad, and he was a landscaper, a paver. He worked for the council. He had his own business, and he asked me to go and work down there, and it's made me really, really appreciate what I've done for the last 15 years, because I did 2 or 3 years working on the roads, laying flags, curbs, all that kind of thing, and it is tough graft. So if anyone does that in here, I really respect you. So I did that for a few years, and played alongside. I did that alongside my rugby, and I was just hoping to myself I made it at rugby at the time.
So just looking back as well, obviously we used to see the academy players, including yourself, tending to the pitch at half-time with the senior games. Do you remember that at all?
All right, yeah. That was just part of the job, and you was asked to go on the field and make sure the field was all right. And I suppose it was a bit of a nice one to be able to go on the field before you're not even made a game for the first team, and just to be part of the squad, part of the club, and being on the first team pitch was great. I have my better memories of probably being a ball boy for the club, even when I was just on the scholarship, and being a ball boy and being able to be part of some of the big games at the club. And the Wigan ball boys always got asked to go to Old Trafford and ball boy there, even if Wigan weren't there. I've just had some great memories being part of the club, and it's some fun times for me.
Is it true that Salford made an offer to sign you, but you turned it down because you wanted to work your way up and stay at Wigan?
You've got some info here, haven't you? So at the time I was 15, and Alan Hunt was the head scout at Salford. I'd been on camps with him as a regional player and a national player when I was 14, 15, and there was a group of us at Wigan. It was me, at the time it was Sean Ainscope, Chris Gerrard, who played a little bit of rugby, that lot of lads. They was all my age, and Wigan and us was all contracts, and Salford offered me a contract, and it was for a 15-year-old lad. It was a lot of money, and I sat down in the Cherry Gardens at the top of Beach Hill with my dad, Alan Hunt, and they said, we really want you at Salford, we'll put you in the first team straight away, or when you're 16, and you can train there with them. And I'll be dead honest with you, there was the money there was this and that, but all what was going around in me, my mum and dad never say a word to me. They just always let me make my own decisions, which I really respect them for that. And all I could think is, I want to sign for Wigan.
So you did. You did sign for Wigan, and you made your debut on Easter Monday, the 5th of April 2010 at the DW, in front of a crowd of 14,615 against Wakefield. What can you remember about that day?
Yeah, a lot of it. Even the build up to the week, I've been part of the squad for the few weeks before it. I remember the last game at Knowsley Road, I was 18th man there, and really intense game, and I was sort of glad I weren't part of that. I was a 19-year-old lad and didn't want to get bashed about by six at that point. But then obviously the Monday after, we trained, done a few games, and George Carmel pulled out in team run. And Phil Bailey was the back rower at that time, and he could easily slot into the centre, so they chucked him in there. Harrison Hanson was straight into the back row with Joel, and I was on the bench. And I was glad the way it happened, to be honest, because it was on the team run, it was a day before the game, and I didn't have any reason to be nervous all week and thinking about the game too much. So yeah, I was in, couldn't be any prouder. I've said it many times before, just play one game for Wigan, and if things didn't work out the way they have done, I'd have still been as proud as I am now. But yeah, started on the bench, came on after about 30 minutes. Played on the left-hand side, I'm pretty sure. Got involved in the game as much as I can. And got over for I wouldn't call it a vintage try, but it counts on the list the same as all the others do. So yeah, lucky to get over on the day as well.
Do you want to talk us through your try? No? Right, so he's too modest, isn't he? You recently scored your 150th Warriors try in all competitions against Catalans, and also surpassed 500 Super League points in the Round 9 clash with Hull KR. How conscious are you as players of these milestones?
I don't think we are. Well, I'm surely not. I didn't know anything about the points until that, and I didn't know anything about the tries until it got mentioned to me afterwards in the game. And I didn't set out in my career to score loads of tries, and I'm sure Willie didn't as well. But I've been fortunate enough to play with a lot of good players who put me in a lot of good positions, and I suppose there's a few players in the squad who do count the tries, don't they? Marsh is awful. Marsh comes in every day and he's telling us there's a top try scorer in the league at the moment. Honestly, he is awful.
Abbas counts actually because because there's a bonus at the end. So there was I think there was a game last year, or honestly it was. Obviously, we play on the right side, you got myself, who was just straight, black and white sort of guy, and then you got Bev, and then Abbas, and I'm thinking, I'm hearing them, and Abbas is complaining on the field, I forgot who the game was. He said, Bev, give me the ball. I'm like, I was like, oh, shut up and get back on the wing. So Bev was, and then we scored anyway. I think Faz actually scored. We ran back in the middle, and I could hear these two, Bev and Abbas, fighting over who's going to score, because they're trying to tally up who gets the bonus at the end. But by the way, he got top try scorer, didn't he? He equaled to someone. And then Super League didn't have a bonus, they scrapped it. His face. Honestly. And I'm telling you, and that's why we don't know if there's a bonus at the end of the year. And honestly, I think he's just ditched it. He goes, mate, actually, you can have it this year. Honestly, I'm thinking, please, I'll tell him, Matty P, I'm going, please, can you put a bonus on the club so he can actually try and score, It's crazy with the motivation of these guys. It's unbelievable. So, Abbas, he counts him up, 100%.
So, speaking of milestones, back to you, Liam. You're currently on 126 Super League tries. The only forward to have scored more is Kieran Cunningham on 138. You need 13 to overtake him, and there's 13 regular games left. Can we expect it by the end of the season? It's doable.
Technically it's doable, I can't imagine it's going to happen this year. I have been made aware of it. Obviously, really tough effort to try and get to where Kieran Cunningham is top player. And I can still remember back some of the tries, he used to just dive over the line and score. And it's like I said, it's not something I try and do. It's not something I try and get over the line as much as I can. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice feeling scoring tries, but in terms of milestones, I don't think about it. But if I was to ever reach that milestone, it'd be one milestone I didn't expect, but it'd be one I'd be very grateful of as well.
I think that's a little challenge for you there, Faz. So, 2010 Grand Final was your first Grand Final. A lot of players mark that as their favourite one. It was the start of the re-emergence of the Wigan Warriors. What are your memories of that one?
Yeah, I can understand why a lot of ex-players have said that. It's difficult for me to still say that now, with all the success they've been at the club. But I've got really fond memories of that year. I said it earlier that if I'd played one game that year, I'd have been over the moon. My family would have been over the moon. But to play 25 games, I think it was in that year, and come away with the grand final when I was 19 is a surreal feeling. But It was the changing of the guard. Obviously, Michael Maguire came in, changed the whole structure of the club, made a work hard mentality, brought in a load of young lads, Joel Tonkins, Sam Tonkins, Darryl Goulden at the time, and Aidan O'Carroll, Paul Prescott. A lot of young lads who bought into what he wanted to do, and all he wanted was people to work hard. And if you ever speak to Madge now, he actually says he could not believe the effort some of them lads put in just to be part of that team, and that's the reason we won the competition. And some of the older players in the team as well, like Stu Fielden and George Carmont, and these players, they all played a massive part. Them senior players with all the experience that they had in their background, it was probably the reason we won. And some of them young lads in the team became regular starters in the team for the years to come. But I think that year alone, and the 2010 Grand Final, stands in a lot of people's memories, and it's one I think about a lot.
So you were given the captaincy at the start of the 2023 season. What can you tell us about that conversation?
First of all, it was never really something that. Obviously, I dreamt about it as a kid, and obviously being one of the senior players at Wigan and being a Wigan captain. I didn't think it'd happen just because we had a certain bloke who captained the club for 15 years. I can't think of his name. He just didn't want to give it up, did he? And then we obviously had Tommy here as well, who was just the next in line, no matter what. Absolute two phenomenal players and legends of the club. And then obviously Tommy was retiring, and it was like blasé. I think me and Matty was sat over there, and I was walking over, and he just sort of said, "You'll be the captain next year." I went, "Yeah, no problem." But then a few weeks later, we was having Pat Richards was on doing the whiskey night, and Matty said to me, "But I weren't actually coming. I had something on." I said, "I need you here tonight. We're going to announce you as captain. I need you to speak." This was 2 hours before the night, and I just went, yeah, okay. I can't turn you down, can I? No chance to invite my family, my wife, nothing. Just you're going to have to turn up and come. So I said okay, and it's just, I can't say anything more than proud. To be a young lad, supported the club since I was a little kid, going to Murrayfield. Some of my earliest memories watching Wigan win the Challenge Cup at Murrayfield, and obviously Rad's a CEO, doing what he did in that final and being the man of the match. And it was one of me. I admired him growing up. I admired Andy Farrell growing up, and just being able to be in their sort of position now as captain is, unbelievable feeling.
So after the 2023 Grand Final, you gave a speech in the changing room about Matt Peat. What makes him such a special coach?
Can I bring Willie in on this as well, because he'll have a lot to say about Matty as well.
Actually, good question. No. First of all, I think he understands Wigan. So I'm an outsider, right? He understands Wigan. He's from Wigan, come through the ranks, which is very important. You know, he started at the local, being a coach, come through the ranks at the scholarship, worked his way up, and you wouldn't have a better person to represent the club, I think, because he understands the grassroots, he understands the people, and then obviously he gets to the point where he's, coaching all of us and managing different characters, different cultures, and one thing he gets is he cares. He cares for Wigan, and when I talk about Wigan, I talk about the people. He cares about Wigan. He cares about the players, and I shouldn't take away from the players. Really, he cares us as men, young men, grown men, and he cares about the families. And it's funny because the first thing he said was. Culture comes first. That was his ultimate. That's it, And so far, he's always lived by that, and I think that's the thing that the players really appreciate and respect him, because he'll tell you straight. He's not a Sean Wayne straight, Sean Wayne will like shoot you, you know. This guy shoots you, but like kind of hugs you at the same time. You know? So it's like it's fair, you know. And he gets us as young men. He gets us as men, grown men. You know, you've got fathers, you've got guys who are young kids coming through. So he has a wide range of experience. But if you look back at his career, he's had all the experiences he's had, you know, and he's a very open guy. Always continue to educate us around what he wants and what he believes in. But I think the thing that makes him different to other coaches, I think he blends everyone's characteristics and talents in the room, what we have, the ingredients, and always he makes a game plan, but he makes us feel comfortable in our environment coming in, make sure we smile every day, because I generally think that when we come into training, we're a happy group, you know, and it goes a long way, I think, and it shows on the field, hopefully, that people can see that we actually do play for the coach, you know, but we play for Lockers and Tommy, because they spend a lot of time and preparing us, but they give themselves to us, you know, which is pretty cool trait as coaches and as leaders in this club.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what I actually said after the final. I think it was along the lines of he leads by example, and you know, everyone loves him for doing it. And what I meant by that is he's just all the tough decisions, he doesn't shy away from them. And there's any time if there's things as a leadership group we might have missed, he's already all over them. He's a deep thinker. You can tell he thinks about the game so much in general. He thinks about the club, things what are going to work for the club, things what don't look so well for the club, and he's just honest with his opinions. And yeah, what Willie said, he wants the group to be happy. And I just think in tough situations, he makes the big calls. Example, the Warrington game before the Challenge Cup final. No one would have wanted to make the decisions he did, but he has done, and he stuck by him, and ultimately he got the success he wanted. And yeah, he's the perfect man for the job.
So, 2020 was your testimonial year, celebrating 10 years at the Wigan Warriors. You had your testimonial match versus Leeds Rhinos at the DW, fresh on the back of the news of Rob Burrow's MND diagnosis. You were lucky enough to play against Rob and also part of the England squad together. What are your memories of him?
First off, as a player, I always used to say, I'd rather have an 120 kilo bloke running at me than Rob, just because for the majority of the game you're tired, you're fatigued, and the last thing you want is a bloke coming at you who's like that, and he's 5'5" and he can duck under every tackle, and so skillful and elusive, and he was just one of the most dangerous players I could play against. And then luckily enough for me, I got involved in some of the England squads and being part of that setup, and obviously the first thing I noticed is being part of that Leeds group who was part of Kev Sinfield. They're very professional blokes, and they treat the rugby league like it should be treated, and do all the right things on the field and off the field. But then probably the next thing what stood out about him is he's a joker. He's quite light-hearted, and he made me feel very welcome straight away. And so yeah, they're probably some of the things I probably admired him about as a player. But probably more recently is it's what stood out for me most about him. Obviously since being diagnosed, he could have easily gone into a corner with his family and not wanted to be seen by anyone and just spent the rest of his time with his family, but he chose to put himself out there and spread the awareness of MMD, and I think what he's done alongside Kev over the last 5 years has been nothing short of remarkable, and I think everyone should be unbelievably proud of what he's done, because I certainly am. He'll be remembered as a player for all the things he won. He won an unbelievable amount of trophies and he had success as an individual, but what he's done since is probably going to make him the man he has been.
of anything you want to share about Rob, Willie? Okay. So Liam, you're a one-club player. Have you ever been tempted by the NRL or rugby union or anything else?
The only time rugby union came along was the similar time to Salford when I was 15. There was a couple of ex-scouts who used to be at Wigan, was down at Saracens at the time, and there was a bit of interest there, but nothing ever since. And then the NRL, there's been a couple of small ones here and there, and probably come at the wrong time in different points in my career and contract lengths, but it's never been an ultimate interest of mine. I'll be very, very honest. Some people say you can get too comfortable, but I don't feel like I've ever got too comfortable. I'm at a great club. I love the club. I feel like I get the most out of myself by being here. And will it be something I regret when I finish? I don't think it will be. I've had more success than I could have ever dreamed of being at this club, so I've been very happy with my time here, and for however long it's got left, I'm going to enjoy my time here, and I can't see myself going anywhere else.
So you're contracted to the end of 2025, which will give you plenty of time to knock Kieran Cunningham's record out the park. But are you hoping to carry on beyond that?
Yeah, I've always said, as long as I'm not picking up niggly injuries and playing one game here, 2 games there, and then missing 3 or 4, and as long as that's okay and I'm playing consistently, and then my form's good as well, and if them 2 things are in place, and thirdly, I'm enjoying myself. As long as they're all there, I'll continue to play. But not obviously, I want to go out on my terms as well. So there'll be a point in time where I make the call, but I don't know when that is at the moment. And there's another person I have to have a conversation with, which is my 7-year-old boy. I don't think he understands retirement yet, so I sort of have to get that one through to him. Yeah, that Daddy's career won't last forever, and yeah, we'll have that conversation soon.
So you got a degree at UCLan in 2022 in strength and conditioning. Is that what you see yourself doing once you do finish playing?
Yeah, I've never wanted to be a coach. It might change in a few years' time, but I love the game. I love watching the game, and I see coaching as being very stressful. Matty doesn't look stressed, but I'm not having. He doesn't get stressed. It's a very stressful job. Yeah, my opinion might change. Like Matty's has there, he probably didn't think he was going to be the head coach, but there's no one better for the job now. And so I see myself being on the performance side of things. There's already been conversations there with that for whenever the time comes, but it's drilled into us as players through Tom Fitzpatrick, the welfare manager, just about getting your careers after playing, and he's so good at his job. He's always into us, trying to get us to do different courses or degrees and stuff like that, or careers in partners with the club and things like that. So yeah, I did my degree. Currently a couple of months away from finishing my masters. So quite a bit going on at the moment with that, but I'll be glad once it's done.
So finally, we can't speak to you, Faz, without talking about your try on Good Friday in 2011. Can you please talk us through that moment of sheer magic?
First of all, before I probably talk about it, I remember saying at the time, people kept saying to me, he'll remember for years. And I just thought, I laughed it off. People forget about it in a couple of years, and literally every year when Good Friday comes around, it's the first thing what people mention. And the size of it probably gets put back to me every time I speak to Deeks, Paul Deacon, about it. He always says to me, in terms of a small margin of time, it's the biggest thrill he's ever had, the biggest moment of his career, and the actual game was quite back and forth, and Saints were looking like they were going to win the game, and I can only think back to the last set. I think it was Harrison who took a carry and he put us on the front foot a little bit, and then Lee Mossop and Andy Corley, and then if I'm dead honest with you, it wasn't. I've run a lot better lines in my career. I sort of just stumbled onto the ball, and one of the Saints players made a bad read, and I just sort of fell over the line, and it was the atmosphere. It was like the ground shook with the people around. If there was an atmosphere what rivaled the Penrith game, that was it. It was just an unbelievable feeling, and still every year I walk into Tesco in Wigan and people are like, we've got to win this Good Friday like you did in 2011. I'm sure this is going to go away sometime soon, but it just doesn't. And in terms of moments in my career, if I take cup finals and grand finals away, it's number one. It has to be.
We actually had Luke Thompson here in May, and he had no recollection of it when I asked him a question, despite him being in the crowd cheering for Saints. So, Willie, we're going to come to you now. Tell us about your childhood. What was young Willie like?
I was pretty chill, to be honest. Same as every other kid, really. I just played with my mates, played a bit of cricket. I grew up in Australia, so I was born in New Zealand, but I always consider myself a Kiwi. My mum and dad are Samoan, but I grew up in Australia, so I'm thankful for them giving me education. But it was a pretty easy life. You just played your normal sports, played cricket, played rugby league, growing up, and done athletics. Athletics was my main thing, really. I've always said that without athletics I wouldn't have a rugby league career, to be honest. So that was probably my foundation as a kid, really. Yeah.
So, obviously you said you were born in Auckland and you moved to Australia when you were 1 year old. How old were you when you actually started to play rugby league?
Yeah, seven. My first game was accidentally, I played in under sixes. Scored 4 tries or something, and then they pulled me out. They said, "Oh man, this guy's too quick or too big." So they put me under sevens, and then I scored 6 tries. It was funny. But I didn't know what I was doing because they said just run, and I was quick. I was like, I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah, so there was a guy named called Daniel Panisi. I'll never forget. We grew up together. He's the one who introduced me to rugby league, and I'll never forget him because he showed me the light, and I kind of just played through the ranks really. With I was at a successful club. Sunday was for church because mum and dad. I grew up a Roman Catholic, so Sunday was always for church. Wasn't allowed to play, so that's the way it goes.
So you fancied yourself as a bit of a sprinter, and you did a bit of hurdles as well. Is that right?
400s. We're talking about 400s. One pre-season. Obviously, we done 6, 7, 8 reps anyway. I'll kill it for the first 300, and then everyone was like, "Wow, Willie's killing it. He's coming first." Oh, guarantee you, he shouldn't hit the 90-metre mark, and I was coming last. I was like, "Willie, what's going on?" I was like, "No, I'll win the next one," and then done it 6 times and never won it every time. So and I always tell the boys I do have that athletics background, but it didn't show that day. But it's all right. I brought new shoes for that too. I was fuming. So I don't know where you got information from, but I done hurdles when I was younger. I got into athletics. I got a record in your county. Is it called county? So Lancashire, yeah. So our equivalent county. I got a 100-metre record and 200-metre record, and then athletics guy came along. His name's Wayne Redslocus. I'll never forget that guy. He said, "Come and train with me," and obviously grew up as a sprinter, but I got a bit slow, I think. So he transitioned me into hurdles. And it was funny because we had a little athletics group, a training group. There was 6 of us. 2 of us were rugby league guys. 1 girl played netball. 1 girl played hockey, field hockey. And then 2 of them done athletics. Funny enough, all of us went into our sports. So Courtney played netball for New Zealand. Chloe played for Australia in field hockey, and then the other 2 sprinted for Australia, and the other fella played for NRL, which is crazy. We all kind of made it in our way, but we always meet up together because athletics kind of started everything really. So I only joined hurdles for 2 years, I think, and then I finished off around 12, 13 because rugby league got too hectic, and at 14, at that time scholarship it was 16s. 14 training got crazy, and I was playing the 16s, and that's when I left athletics really. I kind of chose rugby league because I knew athletics had no money, so I knew straight away. He was trying to convince me. I was like, nah, no chance. So I was just using it just to keep fit for rugby league really. So that was the hurdles. Yeah.
So, as you touched on before, you grew up in Penrith, but you supported Manly, but only for a very short period of time. What can you tell us about that little story?
I first lived in Parramatta. That's funny because I got a Parramatta shirt, but I didn't really watch it that much, and then I moved to Penrith, but Manly was always this team, because there was a guy called Matthew Ridge. He was a fullback. Cliff Lyons was playing, Steve Menzies was second row, Jeff Toohey was in number 9. So at that time, John Hopwati was in the wing. So at that time, they were doing all right at that time. But what happened was in 1996, I think they got beat by Newcastle. Albert scored on the corner, if everyone remembers that game. I was crying, man. I bawled out, I was fuming. And then obviously Melbourne Storm came in, and I just switched teams. I don't know. So I never supported them ever again. And then I supported Melbourne come in, and it was funny enough. And then I moved to Melbourne, and at that time period, Melbourne was their rivals was Manly. Manly were very successful at that time. Des Hasler. And then my hatred just got even more because I joined Melbourne. I thought, never support these guys again. But that's why I supported Manly briefly, and then I quickly packed my bags when they lost, and then moved on.
So you made your senior debut for Penrith in 2008 against Manly, age 19. Tell us about the unusual circumstances in how that debut came about.
At that time I was training pre-season. I was in the 20s at that time, but I trained the full pre-season with first team, and then I was doing the on and off really. They called me into training, but that week they called me in to train all week, and then the game was on the Saturday, so they told me we had captain's run on a Friday. They said I wasn't playing, so just go to back in the 20s. There was a guy named called Brad Ty. His name was. He was a centre for Newcastle a bit, but then he was playing for Penrith. So I played the 20s game on a Saturday afternoon. At that time, we were always curtain raisers, so under 20s were always curtain raisers to the first team. So I played in the afternoon against Cronulla, and then half time came, and we're walking up the tunnel, and then Matt Elliott was the coach at that time. So no one else pulled me, so he kind of tapped me on the shoulder in the tunnel, and then he said, "Look, I need you to come into the sheds." I was like, "Okay, sweet." So I kind of walked into the first team sheds, and then yeah, he said, I need you to play. No one told you? I was like, what do you mean no one told me? I was like, I played half a game. So I was like, there was a miscommunication. Someone should have told me from our team. But anyway, what happened was he said, okay, don't worry about it. Strip off. We've got 2 masseurs on you, so I need you to get a rub down. I was like, okay, sweet. So when we were young, we never had massage or anything like that. Bro, there was people on my calves, people on my back, my neck. Funny enough, my neck, and I was thinking, fuck, I'm relaxed here. I'm like, yeah. So I was like, oh man, I'm feeling good here. So at that time, Patrick Senesiva was captain. Tony Peltua, he played for Saints. Yeah, he was like someone we always looked up to because he was Samoan background. And yeah, he was the vice captain. And then at that time, they were always telling me, oh mate, Doro, just do your thing. And I played wing, so I was playing wing. And then I'll never forget my first touch of the rugby league ball, and I picked it up obviously from dummy half, and I kind of scooted out. And I looked, and obviously I looked before I touched the ball. It was Anthony Watmoe. At that time, he was a bulldog, man. Going back to my neck, he freaking strapped me. Oh my gosh! And then I was thinking, geez, my neck was gone. Like he kind of strapped me around and put me down. And I was thinking, oh Jesus Christ, I need a rope on my neck. So anyway, I ended up assisting for our first try. I went back to half time and they said, how's your neck? I was like, mate, don't ever touch my neck again, bro. Yeah, it was a masseur who rubbed me. I was saying, never touch my neck again, man, because I got too relaxed and then he dragged me around. So it was a weird debut, very weird debut. Yeah, in a weird way, I'm being honest, I don't really consider that as my debut, but officially it is my debut. But reason why I don't feel like it was my debut, because I never really, I don't know, I didn't work hard, I don't know, I just didn't feel like I earned it at that time, you know, so yeah, it was a weird situation, even though I've done the pre-season with them and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think the Melbourne one was the one, because I was top 25 in the squad and I worked my way in, you know, so yeah, weird one.
So, as you mentioned, you moved to Melbourne the year after and made what you consider to be your real NRL debut in round 1 of the competition. What can you tell us about that game?
We played St George at Melbourne. Olympic Park it was at that time. Man, wow, I remember everything really. I was playing centre. Jeez, I had Greg Inglis as my number 6, Anthony Quinn as my winger, Cooper Conk was playing 7, Billy Slade was at the back. Cameron Smith was our captain. Then we had Jeff Lima around, and obviously you guys know Jeff. But it was a close match. It was crazy. I'll never forget, my opposite centre at that time was Matt Cooper. Thank God it wasn't Mark Gazinger, if everyone knows Mark Gazinger. But at that time, they were both 2 centres playing for New South Wales at that time. So, yeah, I had to do a lot of homework during that week. I wouldn't say I wasn't nervous. I was really, really focused. I think I was too tense, you know, when I was young, you know. I think I spent too much energy on too focusing instead of just relaxing, really. So, but the game, we ended up winning anyway on a drop goal extra time. Great experience for my family, really, because I was a kid that come from parents who were Samoan. You know, they were just, they couldn't believe that I made debut for Melbourne, really. But yeah, I'll never forget Frank Panisi at that time. He's still the football manager. He's like, equivalent to like a CEO, really, to the lads. He presented me the shirt and he said, this is what you earned, and you know, this is your real first grade debut. So when he said that, it really sat well with me, and yeah, it was something I'll never ever forget. More seeing my mum and dad really after the game was pretty cool.
So from Melbourne, you went on to Castleford and then to Widnes, where you spent 4 years. In 2016, you signed for the Warriors. Tell us about that. Is it true that when Wayne asked the players who was tough to tackle, your name was the one they mentioned, and that's why they came out to sign you.
Not too sure about that one, but I know why he signed me because, and I don't know if you've heard me in past interviews, but I've always mentioned Michael McLaurin as much as I did because I say thank you, but I think probably I never explained it because Sean Wayne always said to me, without Michael McLaurin's advice and an opinion on me, which I never met him before, I only played against him, he wouldn't even consider me at the club, which is, I don't know what that means, but I'm glad I threw, because all I remember is Michael McLaurin threw a forearm into my arms and my face really, and I thought, dirty little thing. So I'll never back down against him, and it's probably stuck with him really. So Michael McLaurin, I always say Michael McLaurin had a big impact, I reckon, in Sean Wayne's decision really. So I don't know where you got that story from, but Mickey Mac.
Mickey Mac with a forearm, who'd have thought that? So you made your Warriors debut on the 5th of Feb 2016 in shocking weather conditions in the 12-6 win over Catalans. What was that like, apart from wet?
No, it was just cool. I think I've always seen Wigan as the pinnacle over here. My dad watched games, JJB. They always had JJB as a sponsor. My dad used to wake up early and watch Wigan Super League games that came on, but Wigan always came on. St Helens came on all the time. So that's the only memories I kind of have when I was young. And Dad always said, if one day you get to Wigan, you've made it, So I think my dad kind of gave me the education there. But on that day, it was just more of I was just grateful really of the opportunity. But I was against the Catalans team in the wet, and they're a big team. It was tough, and I was playing second row there as well. So first time in that position really, and I kind of just went hard as much as I can really, because I knew my job, and Wayne, he kind of knew me, and whatever he said, I'd done it literally, So apart from the shooting bit.
So you represented Samoa at Mount Smart in Newcastle, in Auckland, on the 1st of October 2010, and you played wing for that game. You also represented New Zealand in the World Cup warm-up game in October 22 against Leeds Rhinos, where you inflicted the biggest defeat on them, 74-0 thrashing. I bet you enjoyed that game, didn't you?
No, it was cool. Both moments were cool. The Samoan one, I came because I wanted to represent my mum and dad really on that time. It's funny because I played Tommy Lulu at that time. It was outside, we got flogged, but it was a great experience. Got to know my culture a little bit more and meet the other lads as well. And that team, Ali Lautiti, all them guys played at that time. So, but in the Kiwi game against Leeds, that was pretty cool, man. It was a proud moment for me because I was always a kid that was born in New Zealand. I always watched the All Blacks and always wanted to put the black jersey on, which is pretty cool. And it was nice to share it with Tommy because Tommy was in the coaching staff at that time. And Madge, it was a full circle moment because Madge, it's funny enough, Madge came here in 2010, but 2009 he was my backs coach, So, and he was one of my first coaches, obviously under Craig Bellamy, but he taught me everything, and then obviously him giving me the call. I was in LA at that time. I was in Los Angeles visiting my partner, and then they said they'll fly me back, so they flew me back. And then I stayed with the squad the whole time, the whole World Cup really, which was pretty cool under Madge's guidance. So I'll do anything for Madge, man, and he knows that. And I was just happy to represent the country of my birth, man. So proud.
So you signed a 1-year contract extension until the end of this season. Do you have any plans in carrying on playing beyond that?
Well, I always said to everyone that my goal is always to get back healthy. I think, that's the one. So I'm always kind of guy, all eggs in one basket. People said, you need to diversify a little bit, and do bits here and there. But my whole life I've always put everything in it, in anything I've done. So I've got one mindset at the minute, is get back healthy, and so far so good at the minute. And I'll give myself a chance every time to play this year, and then we'll see how it goes after that. But I'm happy that my job is at the minute is just to support the lads and support the young guys coming through, and at the same time I've got to get myself fit, and I'm always competing, so the more competition we have together, the better our squad gets, and that's the beauty of our team, which is cool.
So you're passionate about mentoring and the player welfare side of the sport. I know you spent a bit of time at Everton meeting with the player care department. Is that right? A little bit. Is a role in player welfare where you see yourself after you finish playing, or are you still holding out to be coach of the All Blacks?
That was a dream, man. In a way, I still, I don't know, one day I'll want to be in the All Blacks somehow, in some capacity. I'll fill the drink bottles or whatever it is, right? But welfare, I don't know. I don't want to get too deep in this kind of stuff, but I like the well-being side. Welfare is very negative. Well-being is very proactive, and I'm interested in people. That's the main thing, really. Interested in athletes, only through experience and through different backgrounds. I find that interesting. But I've done a little bit at Everton, not too much. I don't want to associate myself with Everton too much. As a Liverpool supporter, but it's cool. Everton. I visited a guy called Chris Addison. He's an education guy. He got me in. Just asked a few questions, really, and obviously I know a few other people in there. But I'm doing little bits here and there. But I always keep the main thing. The main thing is my rugby league, So. But I am interested in the well-being side of the lads, and I try and apply that teachings I'm doing. I've done a few courses and all that, but I try and apply that to my everyday connection with the lads, really.
So obviously you're a big football fan, Liverpool FC. You scored a try in front of the Kop at Anfield at Magic Weekend in May 2019. As a Liverpool fan, that must have been pretty special.
Yeah. He's hating on me, I didn't really think at that time, because you know why? Because we were losing that time, and Lockers obviously fed me the ball, really, and I always said thank you to Lockers, which is funny because he goes, "What do you say thank you?" I was like, "Oh, remember that Kop try?" I was like, "Yeah," because he's a United fan as well, so he's fuming at me all the time. So that was a cool moment, honestly. When I go to Liverpool matches, and I go, "Oh, I've done that," So I just see it as a cool thing, really. And then when the kids talk about it, like there's obviously Scousers around, and they're always like, "Oh, I wish I'd done that in Kop," and I was like, just sit back and I've kind of done it, So it's pretty cool, really.
So just one last question before we do our little quiz. So this is a question for both of you. What does the Riversiders mean to you?
I said it straight after the Challenge Cup final. As a fan base that you are, you're the core foundation of the club. We wouldn't be in the position we're in. I wouldn't enjoy playing for this club like I do. I wouldn't enjoy being a part of this team like I do if it weren't for you. You make us feel comfortable every time we come to these meetings or we come to the dinners. And just to be a part of this club is very special, and that's not just us as players, it's you as fans and all the staff in the club. We're all as one, and the more we can see it like that, and I think that's a big thing what Matty's brought in. I think maybe years gone by where everyone's their own separate identity kind of thing, and we weren't as one, but I think now over the last 3 or 4 years things have started to get to a position where everyone feels comfortable around each other, and I think this building's a lot to do with that as well, and you to be able to hold your meetings here and feel comfortable like you do is great, and yeah, I just thank you for all your support you've ever given me, because I've known a lot of you for a long time now, and coming through the academy, and yeah, I feel very grateful.
Yeah, for me, that's always a sense of gratitude. Really, I come in and because you support us through everything, really, and yeah, I'm just thankful, really, because since I've come to the club, it's you've always been great to me, and even though I don't really give too much, hopefully I always give a smile back, which is hopefully you appreciate, but mainly really it's a sense of gratitude, really, the support you give for our team, and it's always a sense of, I always think of you guys as Wigan, I've always said that, especially for an outside coming in, but if I have one request, it's not a bad one, but it's important for us to expand this base, and we need to diversify the people of our supporters, and I've always said how do we influence younger generation to come to our games, because we've got to recognise that for me and your eyes, it's not the same as a 16-year-old's eyes, but we do have an entertainment. I think our characteristics in our team have brilliant, beautiful characters in our team. We're doing our job, but one request I hope you can accept that, please pass on to, your grandchildren, your kids, to hopefully come along in these meetings as well, and hopefully they can engage with us, because we'll understand them a bit more, and the more that we embrace them, the more will come, so it's important, I think, to help this club keep going, that we need to spread the news, to the younger generation is, and let's not there's so much things going on, right? So much in this world going on, but it's a pretty cool moment. You can bring your grandson, you bring your kids to a Friday night and then spend the time with them, and hopefully I'll see you in the meetings in the future, hopefully. And that's my only request.
Right, so that's the grilling done. So we're going to finish with a little quiz. So we've got a quiz for each of you. I'm going to start with you, Liam. Your quiz is about Liams. So we've got yourself, we've got Liam Marshall, and we've got Liam Byrne. So each question, the answer is either yourself, Liam Marshall, or Liam Byrne. So it's which Liam. Okay? Are you ready? Question number 1. Which Liam earned a place in the shortlist for the 2020 Man of Steel Award?
Liam Farrell.
That was an easy one, wasn't it? You'd have been in trouble if you didn't get that one right. Question number 2. Which Liam scored a try in the 23-22 Golden Point loss to Hull FC in 2019?
Liam Marshall.
It was Liam Byrne. Question number 3. Which Liam scored a hat-trick in the 26-22 win over Hull KR last season?
Liam Farrell.
Well done. Question number 4. Which Liam scored a hat-trick on his 150th appearance?
Liam Marshall.
Well done. And last question, question number 5. Which Liam made his 100th Warriors appearance on his birthday?
Liam Byrne.
It was Liam Byrne. Right, Willie. Your questions are about Challenge Cup finals. They're not as easy as his. We'll start you off with question number 1. Wigan beat Hull FC 16-0 to clinch the 2013 Challenge Cup. Which player won the Lance Todd Trophy?
Is that when Joel scored the try? No, that was against Leeds, was it? Who was that against? What was it 2013? No, I don't know. All I know is Jeff Lima won one. That's all I know. But I don't think it's the year. Was that 2013? I don't remember that back then. I don't remember yesterday. You think it's 2013? You choose these questions, yeah? Ask someone else then, huh?
Did you give him? It was Matty Smith. If you don't remember yesterday, you're not going to get this one. Wigan played in the first Challenge Cup final held at Wembley Stadium in 1929. Who were their opponents?
Which one was that? All I know is Wigan lost to Widnes one time. That's a long time ago, but I don't know when that was. Did they play Sheffield one time? No. No, they didn't. Sorry. I didn't mean to swear. Jesus Christ. I don't know. Sheffield? Huddersfield?
It was Dewsbury. You should know that, Liam. It's history. Are you ready for question number 3? Wigan faced Huddersfield Giants in the 2022 Challenge Cup final at Tottenham. You're going to get this, Willie, so it's an easy one. Who scored Wigan's first try?
Was it No, Morgan's. I thought Morgan's past it, yeah? Harry Smith.
He got there in the end. Here's another good one for you. Wigan was pivotal in the 1932 Challenge Cup final, despite the team not being one of the finalists. Can you tell us how?
Central Park. I don't know. I actually don't know. Huh? Central Park.
That's actually correct. The final was held at Central Park due to Wembley not being booked by the administrator. Some things don't change. Right. Final question, number 5. Which ex-Wigan player scored the opening try on 2 minutes in the 2018 Challenge Cup final?
That was Leeds, huh? Leeds and... No, who was it? You're going to give us a match. Who was it? Yeah, Hull won that final. First 2 minutes. That's a good one. So Scott Taylor used to play for Wigan. Huh? What was a Hull? No, Catalan won that year. Sammy and Mickey. I say Sammy and Mickey. Little mini money way. Sammy and Mickey. Now Morgan, Romain would have played for us, I think. Do you know? No? Do you know? No? I think it's... I'm going to go for Mickey.
It was Lewis Tierney. You forgot about him, didn't you? Little Lewis. Right, so that's all from me this evening. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute honour to have you both here, and it's great to see you.